Hi everyone, I'm Jennie maybe, and today I will be talking about the best and worst era of all Blackpink members. I base this mostly off of my own opinion and whether or not I think a member stood out in an era or, you know, just their overall energy and not necessarily the amount of lines or screen time. Also, just because I name an era someone's worst doesn't mean that I dislike them in that era, and it is not meant to be hate or anything. Yeah. Like my last video where I recorded my voice, I will also repeat that English isn't my native language, so correct me if I pronounce anything wrong, but please don't make fun of my English. Thank you. Now that that's out of the way, let's get right into the video. So first up, we have Jisoo. Jisoo slayed D4 era, period. Her voice fits the song so well, and in the music video, like her pink wig part was so iconic, and not only that part, but also the whole fireworks sparks kind of scene is also so incredibly beautiful. She also really improved her dancing in this comeback compared to like old dance practices. She really improved. I think she stood out the most in the dance break because of how much she has improved. Not to mention how amazing Forever Young fitted her. Just her whole vibe, her whole aesthetic. She looked so extremely happy. I think she stood out in a beautiful way that I have never seen her before in the 2 years at that time that Blackpink existed. I truly think that D4 was Jisoo's era. I feel like Jisoo gets better each comeback, which is why I think she was at her lowest at Blackpink's debut. Boombayah was the first song that I heard of Blackpink, and all the members stood out to me in different ways, except for Jisoo. I think the, there wasn't necessarily something wrong, but it was just the other girls were badass, and she was more, yeah, I don't know, she was more soft, I guess, and I felt like it didn't really fit. I think her outfits weren't as bombastic. Is that a word? Now it is bombastic as the other members' outfits and like visuals. She just didn't really stand out to me. I also think she got the most boring scenes in the music video. I do like the one where she's like walking in the jungle, but the one where she's just sitting somewhere, like applying lipstick, it was just, I don't know. I think Jisoo was really done dirty in their debut. Um, I also think it's too bad that she didn't get to sing one of like the pre-chorus high notes like Rosé. I think now in D4 and in Kill This Love both they switch positions, Rosé and Jisoo, in each pre-chorus. I wonder why they didn't do that in Boombayah because I think that would have worked as well because Jisoo could hit that high note just as much as Rosé could. But I mean, I really like Boombayah, but I just don't think it was Jisoo's era. I know Whistle was released on the same day, but I think in Whistle she's already much stronger. I think because that is a more chic concept, I guess. I think that fits her more, or at least fitted her more at the time. So, yeah, in Boombayah, she just kind of disappeared for me. Now we go on to Jennie. Jennie was so badass in Whistle, and I absolutely love it. Her rap was so good. I think the English one from the Japanese version is weird lyric wise, but the Korean one I love. It sounds so good. This concept fits her to the T. Is that a phrase? I'm really bad in English words and phrases, but now it is a phrase. This concept fit her to the T. And it was more of like a cool laid back song, which I think matches her vibe still. So I hope they do another concept like this because it really fits her well. Um, this was between D4 and Whistle for me. because I love Jennie's rap in D4 even more, but I feel like Whistle was just made for her. She absolutely killed it. 얼굴이 뜨겁고 가슴은 계속 뛰어 내 몸이 맘대로 안 돼 어지러 Like I said, Jennie has this badass laid back kind of vibe, which is quite the opposite of what As If It's Your Last is. Don't get me wrong, because I do really like Jennie in this comeback, but it kind of seems to me like she didn't like it as much as their 2016 releases. I did really enjoy hearing Jennie's vocal side more because I think she has a lovely voice and her voice did fit the song really well. I just think that the pink side of Blackpink isn't really Jennie's thing, and that's fine, of course. So next up, we have Rosé. Okay, so I might be a little tiny bit biased because Rosé is my bias and Playing with Fire is my favorite song, but still. Her voice is beautiful, but quite specific, and what I mean by that is that I don't think her voice just doesn't fit any kind of song, but with Playing with Fire, it fits heavenly. And her entire aesthetic, I think, as well. Like the whole, I don't know, I really get like those fall vibes from it, and I think that also fits Rosé well. And her high note towards the end, show stopping. That scene in the video where she hugs that guy, I am still crying. Playing with Fire era Rosé can step on me. To me, this was between Whistle and D4, and you're probably wondering, why D4? I think D4 was Rosé's weakest era performances-wise, and I think her voice matches better with their other songs. But I did really like the part that she sings before the dance break, like the "What you gonna do when I come through with that Thanks for watching my performance. Um, but yeah, I chose Whistle. I think it's kind of the opposite that Jisoo has. I think Rosé stood out a lot in Boombayah, but wasn't really as visible in Whistle. It doesn't really necessarily have a reason. I just think Whistle was more like the rap line kind of song and not necessarily vocal line. And lastly, Lisa. Cause we gonna get it, my love, you can bet it. I'm like, we gon' double the stack on them. I'll be the bunny and you be my class. Rewrite or die. As If It's Your Last was made for Lisa. I think Lisa is the only member that can handle black and pink concepts equally well. I think she can turn badass but cute at the same time. Her English rap was awesome, and the amount of confidence and swag she had in this era was incredible. She was so strong, she stood out, and I think she really made people fall in love with her charm. Her orange hair was also so cute, and both on stage and in the music video, she was truly shining. 가끔 어둠이 올 때만 I'll be a fire 거짓 같은 세상 속 유일한 truth is you. This a letter from me to you. Stay just wasn't Lisa's thing. I think this is mostly to blame on that a rap doesn't really fit the song, and she got that one part that didn't really fit, in my opinion. The song is really emotional, and it's not like the rap wasn't emotional, but I feel like it would have been stronger if they all just sang instead of rapped. It wasn't bad or anything, but in Lisa's case, I prefer her in Hope Not, which is also an emotional song, and there she really comes out with like her vocals because she can get really emotional, but in the rap of Stay, I don't know, I just don't really get like the sad vibes that are supposed to come off of it. So yeah, that's it. That is my personal best and worst era for each Blackpink member. I hope you guys liked it. Let me know if you agree or disagree with me. Different opinions are always welcome as long as you stay respectful. Again, I want to repeat that just because I mentioned an era as someone's worst, that doesn't mean that I think that member was bad in that era, and I definitely do not mean this video as any kind of hate. So if that's clear, again, thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you in my next video, and I also hope you guys have a lovely day or a lovely night. Bye!